Hello, hello. We are going to be talking to Kayla. Oh, there we go. Okay. We are going to be talking to Kayla from Fitfilled, which is the nutrition company that we are teaming up with this month. Super excited. It's going to be happening on the 26th of the month. Our 12-week program. So I'm going to invite Kayla on. We're going to do a Q&A about the program. So let's get her on. Hello.
Hello there. I was hoping I did, right?
Yes.
Got it. Yay.
Perfect. I know. These lives are always so funny. Like sometimes it takes like a little while to like get connected and then you're like, so anyway, just
I
me, myself.
This is my first partnered live, so it was new to me, but it all went smoothly. I'm on here, so it's
Yeah,
good.
Brady Bunch style here. Like the little windows.
I know.
Okay, so Kayla, thank you so much for coming on, and we're gonna do a Q&A here of our our collaboration, your nutrition program. I'm super excited to be able to offer this to our clients here at Her Strength. I think that this offers an exciting opportunity for people to really maximize the results that they're getting in the gym. They're working really hard, and it definitely is a huge part of getting results in the gym. The nutrition piece, how are you fueling your body? And I think that it's great to get some guidance, and I'm very excited to team up with you and Vin with this 12-week program. So just to start with, can you give an overview of the 12-week program? Kind of generally, what does it entail? What's the commitment? And what do you guys go over in those 12 weeks?
Of course. But yes, I am so excited to be partnering with Nora on this because for those of you who don't know, I've known Nora for a long time now, and we actually used to work together years ago. So it's pretty cool to connect with her again. And I think, her and I have a lot of similar beliefs when it comes to fitness and nutrition. So I think this was a really good partnership, and I'm super excited to get it started. So little overview. I just bulleted some stuff to, get the major points across, and then we'll touch on the questions. And then if anyone has any other questions throughout this live, feel free to post it, or, you can wait till the end, anything like that, and we'll be sure to get them answered. So yes, so as you guys know, it is a 12-week program. It is 100% online. And it's really a program designed to help optimize your health. So that's kind of like our first and foremost goal in this program. And you might see that a lot of the focus is on weight loss, but that's just because a lot of clients that come to us, that's what their main goal is. But we can easily be adapted to any specific goal, which I'll touch on in one of the questions that was asked. So we'll get to that too, different types of goals. But yeah, so it's all online, and it's delivered through a customized app that we actually created. And it is one-on-one coaching. So you're going to be working with Vin and I every step of the way. So Vin is my business partner, and he's actually my stepfather as well, which is pretty cool. Vin has his PhD in nutrition, and he's not on the live today, but he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff for us. But yeah, so it's going to be one-on-one coaching with us. So I'll be working with each of you individually, to help you get through any challenges that you encounter along the way. But on top of that, although it's one-on-one coaching, you guys will be part of your own little Her Strength community within the app as well. So it'll be kind of cool for you guys to be able to have that group to interact with each other, since you guys will be moving, at the same pace throughout this program. So it's just a little space again for all the members of Her Strength who are starting on the 26th to be in that little group together, moving along the program at the same time. There will be food logging right in our app, and this is a big part of the program because it gives me a better understanding of what you're eating so that I can give you the most thorough and helpful feedback as possible. And also the feedback is going to be given to you at a weekly basis. So I kind of will be going over the food logs at the end of each week, and then going into detail with you, you know, going through an analysis with you at the end of the week according to your food log and your goals. Um, on top of that, there is going to be weekly educational modules to help you learn throughout the way. That's big too. You want to kind of know the why behind everything and not just be handed a meal plan and eat this, this, and this, and okay, well, why? Why am I eating this? So you're going to learn the whys behind it all throughout the program as well. And those, again, are going to be one module per week so that you can kind of, implement these changes, small changes over time. So you're not super overwhelmed trying to change everything at once. There will also be a weekly check-in questionnaire with me. So that's where we can kind of go over if you were struggling at all throughout the week, if you have any specific questions, how your sleep was. I know sleep is really big and people don't, tend to really think about that stuff when it comes to their progress. But we touch on stuff aside from nutrition too. So sleep, stress, we'll touch on that in the weekly check-ins as well. And yeah, so if I notice anyone start to fall off too, I am, sure to contact them and, make sure that they're staying focused and on track. So the accountability is there. I'll make sure of it. I know people tend to kind of be wary about accountability when it comes to an online program, but like I said, I'm with you every step of the way, and I'll make sure that you're staying on track.
That's awesome. I love that. And that's such an important piece too, because, and we've found that over the last year of doing our customized coaching program here, like the accountability is everything. Like you have your one-on-one coach and you're going to show up because you're going to be like having someone, sending you a text, sending you an email. Hey, what's going on? Where are you? Like accountability is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's huge.
Awesome. So now, Kayla, based on like all that you're telling me and that you're telling your audience, um, as far as the modules, you mentioned weekly modules. One of the questions that we received was like, what will be the time commitment in each of these modules? Because we've got a lot of people who are like really busy. They're, crazy at work, crazy at home with kids and all that kind of stuff. So they just want to make sure that like they can commit to that weekly time.
Absolutely. So the way that the modules are set up, yes, there's obviously going to be some reading, but that's why we have one per week so that you can kind of break it up as you need to throughout the week. And so, there's no time commitment. You don't have to read the whole module the day it comes out and have to, be quizzed on it or anything like that. But, some of them are a little bit longer than others, but really one whole module should, if you are to read it in one sitting, should really only take you about 10 to 15 minutes. But again, you could just read the first paragraph one day and then move on the next day. So you can totally break it up into chunks and just kind of absorb the information in smaller chunks throughout the week. So there's no time commitment that you have to be moving at a certain pace. And I know, like you mentioned, there's a lot of busy moms who are probably interested in doing this program. So it's not like, a college course where you're going to have to be doing like all these readings every night. And, again, the modules are really just to educate you guys about these topics of nutrition. And if you don't get through the whole thing and you have a question about something that I know is like referred to in one of the modules, I'll point you exactly where to go to look for that information specifically, or I'll just give you the answer. So that's why it's so important to keep communication with me too, so that I know, how you're feeling, if you are feeling overwhelmed reading these, and I can kind of just help you get through it in that aspect.
I love that because I think like you mentioned earlier, it's like you want to give all this information because it's not about like just throwing a meal plan at someone and saying like, here, follow this. Like anyone can do that. Any idiot can do that. You don't need a qualification to do that. It's really about like learning, what do these specific nutrients do for my body? Why am I eating this? And I know for myself, like whenever I, try some different, dietary trend or whatever, I always want to know the why behind it. Because if you know the why, it's going to be something that sticks with you so that it's not going to be this like fleeting thing. It's not a crash diet. It's not going to be something that you're going to be like, oh, I'm really into this for like, 3 months and then just fall off the bandwagon, because you're going to know what the food is now doing for your body. You're going to know how it's fueling you. So, I absolutely love that. That like very much connected me to your program. Like, I love that. That's really great. Um,
Yeah. You
exactly
know,
what we do.
no, I was just going to say just one other point, kind of touching on that too, is like having all this information, really the point is to be able to take this information with you for the rest of your life so that you don't have to keep doing these quick fixes and crash diets. Like you have the information, you are learning it, and then you're going to be able to sustain that progress for the rest of your life because you've learned it. So that's a really big part of our modules.
It's like teach a man to fish situation. That's
Yes.
what it is. I absolutely love that. That's exactly what we do here. Like if someone's doing an exercise and they're like, why am I doing this? What's this for? We always have an explanation, right? Like
Right.
we want to know because, if you move away someday, like we want you to be able to continue, doing what you're doing and not just be like, I need someone to dictate to me what to do. Like you know what to do, right? So that's, I love that.
Yep.
Um, so the next question, which I thought was a great one, was, is this program appropriate for someone who doesn't necessarily want to lose weight? Like, are there other goals that I could want to achieve, through this program?
Absolutely. And we have had plenty of clients whose goals were not to lose weight, who we've helped. And, whether that be increasing muscle, whether the person just simply wants to, feel better overall, or just learn more about nutrition. We've had plenty of people who've joined us who were like, I really don't need to lose weight, but, I'd like to get healthier, or I would like to, gain muscle. So, because I am working out in the gym and I want to see results, but I'm not noticing anything because my diet's probably not right for that. So yes, we can absolutely tailor this program for anyone's specific goals. And that is including pregnant and breastfeeding moms as well, which we'll touch a little bit more on in another question. But yes, we can absolutely work with whatever goal you have in mind.
That's awesome. I love that. That's awesome. And because like at the end of the day, nutrition, it has a direct bearing on your quality of life, right? So like it isn't just weight, that might be your goal, and that's an awesome and a totally fine, valid goal. But if it's not your goal, then you've got other things, on your mind, then totally that's great.
Yeah.
So let's just lead right into that next question. So is this program appropriate for nursing or pregnant moms? And do you have experience with that?
Yes. So our program can cater to pregnant women and nursing moms. And the program is shifted a little bit in that case. And there's a whole section on that specifically in our program. Um, and so, like I kind of mentioned before, our program emphasizes eating for health first. And obviously, with a nursing mom or a pregnant woman, that weight loss is not going to be their goal, should not be their goal. So, really, what we do or what we focus on with these women is their overall health and, providing nourishing milk for their babies. And we do also have a feature on our app that's you can look at your nutrient analysis, and so that they can check their targets for specific nutrients, if they're getting enough of a certain nutrient. And we adjust these specifically for pregnant and lactating women, because these nutrients do differ for those women. So they're able to check and see if they are getting, adequate nutrients just through their diet, and then we'll give them recommendations. If something seems to be pretty low or they're getting too much of something, we'll give them examples of what to supplement in terms of food to get those numbers where they want to be. One other cool thing that we do have for pregnant women as well is a chart to determine whether you are gaining weight at a healthy rate. So you're able to, and this is optional, but you are able to, record your weight during pregnancy. And, we have a chart that you can visually see kind of where you're at on that chart, if you are below where you should be, if you're a little bit too high where you should be. So that's another cool feature that we have for our pregnant clients as well.
That's awesome because I think, as someone who has children, like a lot of them, I feel like
I don't know how you do it.
pregnancy and postpartum is like totally different. And, I mean, I remember feeling totally different after I had my C-section versus, my home birth. So it's like, you can feel very vulnerable, and to be able to actually eat something that makes you feel nourished and makes you feel like you're able to provide food for your baby if that's what you're doing. It's so valuable. Because I know so many new moms that just like they're like, I just like share my toddler's dinner or like pick off his plate, or I just get whatever is there, and then they're like starving because they haven't eaten. It's 1 p.m. So it's so like it's be so great and so supportive to have a plan, to stick to that wasn't so focused on like losing weight, and it's really more about just nourishing your body, and then you'll get to that healthy body composition in a good amount of time, as opposed to like crash dieting and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
so that healing process postpartum as well.
Yep.
um,
Absolutely.
so then on the other end, so we had a question from someone who said, is this going to be a good program for someone who is menopausal and experiencing weight gain? Like this is like an unusual weight gain for her. Is this something that you can help her with?
Yes, definitely. We've actually had a number of clients who are either, heading into menopause or are in menopause, and they're just so frustrated. They don't know what to do. They seem to, try everything and nothing works. Um, so yes, we can absolutely work with this. And, as a woman, everyone's going to have to go through it. Um, so, you know, again, it kind of comes back program optimizing health, and the healthier you are, the easier it's going to be to get through menopause, and with less unnecessary weight gain. So, you're going to have the tools to not only, increase your health, but it's going to be easier for you to, kind of maintain a healthier weight going into this period where, yes, it is going to be tougher to lose weight. And I know a lot of women are like, it's impossible. And it's tough. It does get tougher during this time period, but it is not impossible. And, that's why it makes it so much more important to be focusing on your health during this time of your life, because you want to be, at the healthiest, and kind of be able to get through menopause feeling better than whether, if you didn't do anything at all. So yes, we've worked with a lot
Absolutely.
of women who've gone through this.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. So we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but like there's a lot of initial reading. So I heard from someone who just joined the program. She's signed up, she's ready to go, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, there's so much reading like that. Like, what do I do?" And I think my initial thought was like, I can see that because like I think you have an incredible attention to detail, which I very much appreciate. But like, how close do they need to read that, like all that initial reading?
So yes, so I briefly touched on it earlier, but yes, there is going to be reading, and it may seem like a lot at first, only because we do want you guys to be able to understand how the program works, and be able to read the instructions on, how to use the food diary and things like that. So initially it might seem like a lot, but I promise, the modules, like I mentioned before, they really aren't that long, and you're only going to get one per week. So really the only reading going forward after you complete the onboarding steps is going to be those weekly modules. And like I said, you can go through those at your own pace. There's no set time frame that you have to complete them. So, just little by little you can read. And there might be some modules that, don't apply to some people, which they can just skip right over kind of thing. And if someone's unsure and they're like, is this right for me according to my goals? Just reach out to me and I'll let you know if that's something that you can just completely skip over.
Yeah.
So yeah, so don't be overwhelmed with the reading at first. Like I said, we just really want you guys to understand everything before you jump right into it. But if there is any, questions at all during that onboarding process, then do not hesitate to reach out to me because I'll help you through it.
Great. That's great. Um, and then the other question is, will this improve my relationship with food? Because I think, food is definitely something that can be, like a very touchy subject for a lot of people. And, if you are someone who has been sucked into the diet culture, then it can be like you can feel like nervous around food. So, it's about creating that healthy relationship with food. Is this going to help with that, do you think?
Yes. So, yeah, there's just so much information out there, a lot of misleading information out there on food. So, it's totally understandable why a lot of people are nervous around food, especially with social media being so big these days. But so our program certainly should help people who are kind of on the fence about this. So the one thing about, relationship with food is it's really all about your perspective and thoughts about food. So I don't want to say that our program will 100% be perfect for someone in this situation, only because someone's perspective about food, or like what they're interpreting in our program might be completely different from someone else and what they're interpreting about something.
Yeah.
Um, it's so important to stay in communication with me throughout the program, especially if you are feeling any sort of, weird feeling about food, or you're like, like I'm just kind of feeling like nervous and overwhelmed and this is a lot. Like, I am here to help you through those thoughts and kind of like get you to a point where you're feeling comfortable. And maybe we do have to take a step back and kind of be like, okay, listen, like let's just focus on something smaller and just focus on that for now. We'll move on to the next step when you're ready. But I will say that we have had a number of clients who either during the program or completed the program and specifically did mention that our program helped them a lot with their relationship, with food, how to balance it all out. Because that's one of our big things is being able to balance, the healthy eating and indulging and going out with friends and living your life. Like that's what we're all about. And if you know me, I'm a very social person. I go out with friends a lot. I go out to eat, and it's important to be able to incorporate these things in your life without being scared and being like, oh my God, like, well, if I go out with my friends, what am I going to order and stuff like that. So these are things that we help you through, in this program, and we help you to find that balance of, okay, yes, like, you're okay to eat this and like enjoy it and don't feel guilt around it. Um, but like I said, everyone's perspective is going to be different. So it's hard to say 100% if this program is going to be awesome for someone who's having some troubling thoughts. We have worked with a couple clients who, either have like currently have an eating disorder or previously had an eating disorder that we have helped as well. So, again, it's really just all about perspective, but we'll do everything in our power to help someone who's struggling with this get past it.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great. I think like a lot of this is like, it comes back to like knowledge is power, right? The
Yeah,
more that you know and the more that you can kind of dispel the myths, and the more that you can arm yourself with like really great, holistic information, the more comfortable that you may become with something that you were previously not comfortable with.
yeah.
So that's great. Now I will mention, I think you're, are you going to say something?
No, you were cutting out, but I think you're
I
good now.
but we're both.
You're
So
like
this,
happy, but I can still hear you.
program is going to start. So it's going to start on the 26th of September, and it is exclusively for our clients. But if you are not our client, Kayla and Ben do work with tons of other people. So this is just like a specific program for us that we're starting on the 26th. So if you're interested, we timed it so beautifully that it takes you right up to the crazy busy holidays. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be awesome for people, like to feel, feel really good, feel really confident going into a time when, it can be crazy and like, lots of parties and lots of celebrations and seeing family and all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited about that timing. So, so if you want to sign up for the program, we have a link in our profile. I think, do you have a link in your profile too? I don't know how this works.
Um, the link in my profile actually, I think, goes to my website. But what I can
But I
do,
have to go.
what all time like period up until the 26th, I'll put the link in my bio for the Hearth Strength members so that they can just go right to there. So I'll do that right after this.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so make sure that you follow Kayla at Fitfilled. And please let us know if you have any other questions. I'm happy to relay questions on to Kayla. She's very, very timely about responding. She answered me right away. Um, so definitely let us know if you have any questions. We're super excited for this program. Kayla, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait for everyone to get started.
Yes, me too. Yes, any questions whatsoever, feel free to either DM me or reach out to Nora and she'll let me know. I'm happy to chat with anyone over the phone if you're on the fence, if you have any other specific questions. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kayla.
You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.